Zoomer in my Discord, he sent me this video. It was like a hawk coming down and grabbing a baby, and then a dog grabbing it and pulling it down, you know what I mean? And I looked at it at first and I was like, oh shit, it's crazy, you know? And then I looked at it again and I was like, hey, is this not real? He's like, no, it's not real. I had an epiphany then. Zoomers who are raised with this, they can identify with ease things that take me a lot longer to identify with. Now, they may lack social skills, but which one's more applicable for the future? Great social skills or being able to recognize that, hey, that news broadcast is totally fake and you could just recognize it within 5 seconds, whereas guys like us are looking at it and going, holy shit, they're invading? Right?
Aliens are real.
Yeah.
When you prepare for a debate, do you go through your opponent's arguments through YouTube or anything like that? What do you do to prepare?
I do it totally different than most people. So I will watch my opponents and their arguments and this and that. But I also try to think about arguments in a vacuum, right? So I try to reduce it to what are we really talking about? Because almost every prompt that you are engaging in is not actually what you end up talking about, right? So if we're talking about marriage, the problems with marriage, that usually has nothing to do with problems about marriage. It has to do with problems about divorce, right?
Yeah.
So we're not really talking about marriage at all. Oh, we agree, marriage is great. The divorce part, that really sucks, right? That's not so great. So I really try to think about, logic only has so many lines, so many trees, so many arguments, so many ways something can go. So I try to think of those things in a vacuum. You were mentioning to me before the show that ChatGPT and now AI can be very useful to these things, but I've noticed that it's actually counter useful for me to use AI. I've run arguments with AI, and AI is programmed specifically, all of it, ChatGPT, Grok, to have a bias towards a user bias.
Yes.
And the thing is that's why it's supposed to, it seems so friendly, and it seems like
it's not going to help you in a debate.
Well, have you ever noticed when people use AI for facts and things like that, it's overly accommodating, right, in the way that it presents them, so as to not hurt your feelings, to make you feel pretty good about whatever you asked it. You know what I mean? Even if you ask it true, false statements, it's still kind of is. It's what it's trying to figure out is how does this person who's asking me things lean, so I can deliver this in a way that is very positive towards them. Well, of course it's going to do that because it wants you to use it, right? If it was like, hey, you're fucking stupid, you wouldn't use it anymore, right? Yeah. So what I found is that happens with arguments. I've had people contact me and say, I got the perfect argument. AI wrote it, right? And I'm like, okay, well, let's have AI write an argument against itself here. And it'll write an argument back against itself. Then it refutes itself, right? Gets upset with itself, and then sometimes commends itself. And it's like, unfortunately, it's not very good. It's only good at structures for logic, but it's not good at actually grounding logic, and it's not good at all in sound arguments. It doesn't understand sound arguments at all.
So you understand, I mean, you were a robotics repair guy. You have an understanding of how robotics works, and then the concept of mechanically, and then artificial intelligence. What do you see in the future? So we have the discussion all the time about men falling behind, and there very likely could be, because of AI, a large group of men being left behind economically. And what kind of effect do you think that's going to happen in the future? Manufacturing jobs going away?
Yeah, let's separate two things. So I was on the mechanical side of robots, not the programming side. Yeah. And most robots don't use any artificial intelligence at all. In fact, I've never seen one that did ever. They use usually, at least the types I worked on, used ladder logic, which was a specific type of program logic, which was designed to assist machines in how they're supposed to function based on timers. This timer happens, this happens. This timer happens, that happens. There's more to it than that, but that's the layman's understanding, right? It's like a signal. A timer happens, you move to this function, right? Timer happens, it moves back to this function. That's a traffic signal. Robotics works the same way. So do automated machines. So everything is a trigger event based on time. Photo eye gets hit. 2 seconds after that, this arm pushes, right? It's pretty simple. Robots on a grand scale work this way, and on a small scale, they work this way. Now, as to AI, the concept of AI can work two ways. But the way that we're working AI is with nodes. That's what's happening. So it's data packets, data in, data out. We can get to the point where you have so many nodes of information that just like those timers, it can now it can now make predictions about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it would look, if you had enough of these nodes, indistinguishable from actual intelligence. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't actually be artificial intelligence. It's just that if there's so much information which is there, right, that every timer is accounted for every function of reality, it would become indistinguishable from intelligence, even if it's not intelligent. So that's a bad way to explain it, but that's basically it. AI is not going to have a huge impact on manufacturer, trade, labor, nothing like this, because it can't do anything, okay? It physically can't move goods. And someone's got to drive the truck, and AI ain't going to do it. AI can't even drive a damn car without crashing, and Elon Musk's drivable car. We've been hearing about this for 15 years now, right? Yeah. And all the damn things do is crash. That's not coming to a theater near you. As far as logistics goes, you're not going to see a bunch of truckers losing their jobs anytime in our lifetime. No, that's not going to happen. What AI will do is it's going to hurt a lot, because clerical work and office jobs and things like that, it can take over in a big way. And where computers still needed data entry, and so replacing the typewriter with the computer, and then using the computer for logging things and calendars rather than material physical use ones, it made it more convenient, but that allowed for more labor. AI can actually move you out of the creative markets. Now, what about entertainers?
Yeah, that was my next one. What about the AI influencer?
Yeah, so the thing is that I noticed this interesting trend. A Zoomer in my Discord, he sent me this video, and it was a stupid video. It was like a hawk coming down and grabbing a baby, and then a dog grabbing it and pulling it down. You know what I mean? And I looked at it at first, and I was like, "Oh, it's crazy," you know. And then I looked at it again, and I was like, "Hey, is this not real?" He's like, "No, it's not real." But I had an epiphany then. Zoomers who are raised with this, right, raised with technology, they can identify with ease things that take me a lot longer to identify.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
They can identify with ease when something is technologically with you, or it's not real, or something like this, because that's what they grew up with. Now, they may lack social skills. They're terrible with those. Yeah. We grew up with those. So we have great social skills. They don't. But which one's more applicable for the future? Great social skills, or being able to recognize that, hey, that news broadcast is totally fake, and you could just recognize it within 5 seconds, whereas guys like us are looking at it and going, holy shit, they're invading, right?
The aliens are real.
Yeah, so the thing is like, that is a very practical skill for the future that we're going to have to like train ourselves and adapt to, that they just have right now, instantly. And so I don't think AI has been, for me, very useful. AI music is very useful. It's not going to get rid of artists. Give me a break. When it comes to AI helping you with writing, like I was talking to a writer recently who said all the Harlequin romance novels, which is like 70% of books which are bought, they're just using AI to write them
because it's all based on one common theme.
But the thing is, it's like it never took any talent to write them anyway. Yeah, all it does, it seems like it's a useful tool for creators to expand ideas and creation. I can't wait until animation.
Yeah.
You can do better things with animation.
It's getting better.
Yeah, and I can type in what I want animated and it does it.
So when I use AI, it's like I use it for creative things. I use it for photos and videos and some music.
It's done nothing.
He looks on Paul Perplexity, like finds out like freaking chemical combinations of.
Well, it's done nothing to hurt the creators in these industry, because that's the word, right? Yeah. Creator. The reason that technology hurts video stores is because they have something material.
Got it.
We don't. We're not selling anything material, right? And because of that, it just creates endless tools for creativity. You know what I mean?
So you still see it as a supplement or a complement to human creativity.
Well, it's the biggest bubble in the world, and it's going to pop, and it only has so many places it can go. And by the way, it ain't all that great. Yeah. It's like, it's not all that great. You still have to double check it. You can't make legal documents with it. That's all. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be really cautious.
But you think it's going to get progressively better, right? That's how machine learning would work.
I think that you'll find plateaus in the fact that you have something. All that this is really doing right now is combing the internet for answers and then typing it out to you.
Yes. So
that's all it's
still
doing.
Based on human intuition and human knowledge base, but it's just using additional reasoning.
Still limited by the prompts a human being can.
Yeah, and not only that, while it's made creativity more interesting, the military's had access to this technology for 40 years, and it hasn't gotten that much better.
Yeah.
So I'm not that concerned about it yet. And what I'm hearing from investors, and you guys probably are too, that it's the biggest bubble on planet Earth,
big bubble, yeah.
up to somewhere like 40 billion, right? And that it's gonna pop. So
it'll be too common.